I'm sitting in a sterile conference room on the 14th floor of a downtown Miami law office, and my hands won't stop shaking. The papers in front of me might as well be a death sentence. Three separate lawsuits, three clients claiming I destroyed their bodies, permanent spinal damage, chronic pain, loss of quality of life. They're asking for $2 million each. My lawyer, Patricia Chen, slides her reading glasses down her nose. Liza, I need you to walk me through each of these clients. Marcus Thornton, ring any bells? Marcus. Of course I remember Marcus. 32, software developer, came to me with lower back pain. I worked with him personally for 8 weeks. We started with the gentlest exercises, pelvic tilts, bridge poses, nothing that could possibly cause injury. He sent me a thank you card after his first month, but let me back up. Let me tell you how I even got here. I opened Restore and Align Pilates Studio on a humid September morning 2 years ago. The space was small, just 1,200 square feet in a converted warehouse in Wynwood, but it was mine. Every penny of my savings went into those mirror-lined walls, those reformer machines, that bamboo flooring I'd installed with my own hands. I'm not some fitness influencer who decided Pilates looked cute. I spent 7 years as a physical therapist at Jackson Memorial Hospital. I worked with car accident victims, stroke patients, elderly folks learning to walk again after hip replacements. I saw what improper movement could do to the human body, and more importantly, I learned how to heal it. My studio's tagline was simple: movement as medicine. I specialize in clients recovering from injuries, dealing with chronic conditions, or just wanting to build strength safely. I kept my classes small, maximum 6 people, so I could watch every movement, correct every form, prevent every potential injury, and it worked. Within 6 months, I had 40 regular clients. Within a year, I had a waiting list. Mrs. Rodriguez, who came to me barely able to climb stairs after a knee replacement, was hiking with her grandchildren within 4 months. David Chen went from chronic neck pain to being completely pain-free after 12 weeks. I wasn't getting rich, but I was breaking even, building something real, making a difference. Until the sweatbox opened. They hung a banner the size of a city bus across their building 2 blocks from my studio. Grand opening, the Sweatbox Miami, 15,000 square feet of pure fitness energy. The Sweatbox wasn't just a gym, it was a fitness empire. 47 locations across 12 states, celebrity trainers, a clothing line, meal prep service, supplements brand. Their Pilates classes were high intensity, set to pulsing EDM music, taught in dark rooms with colored lights, classes of 40 people at a time. I told myself we served different markets. There was room for both. I was so naive. Sarah, my prenatal instructor, came to my office 6 weeks after the Sweatbox opened. She couldn't meet my eyes. The Sweatbox offered me a position, head of their prenatal program, $70,000 a year plus benefits. I was paying Sarah $38,000, no benefits. James quit 3 days later. Same story, double the salary. I couldn't compete. I couldn't even be angry. But I was devastated. Clients noticed, some drifted away. My waiting list evaporated. I started waking up at 3 a.m. doing financial calculations, trying to figure out how long I could survive. On a Monday morning in March, a man in a cheap suit walked through my door. Lisa Mendez? Yes. He handed me a manila envelope. You've been served. I opened it right there. Marcus Thornton was suing me for negligence, claiming I had caused him 3 herniated discs. He was seeking $2.1 million in damages. That's how I ended up in Patricia Chen's office, staring at not one but 3 lawsuits. My entire life's work circling the drain. If you're watching this, please subscribe and comment what city you're watching from. I need to know I'm not alone in this fight. Patricia spreads all 3 complaints across her conference table. Walk me through each plaintiff, every detail you remember. I start with Marcus. He joined late January, filled out the standard intake form, lower back pain from sitting at a desk, rated it 6 out of 10. No previous major injuries. I did his initial assessment myself. Range of motion tests, postural analysis, core stability checks. Typical desk worker posture, nothing unusual. His first 4 sessions were private, one-on-one with me, foundation work, breathing techniques, pelvic floor engagement, gentle spinal articulation. He said he felt better after every session. He bought a package of 20 sessions up front. Patricia's pen stops. Why is that unusual? People don't commit to 20 sessions before they know if they like it, but I was losing clients to the sweatbox, and I needed the money, so I didn't question it. Jennifer Wu, tell me about her. Jennifer claimed I'd caused a torn rotator cuff. She joined early February with a friend, Susan Park, the third plaintiff. They said they'd heard about my therapeutic approach and wanted something safer than regular gyms. I thought they were validating my work. How stupid was I? Jennifer asked a lot of questions about my background, my training, whether I'd ever had complaints. At the time, I thought she was being thorough. Now it feels like gathering information. What exercises did you do? Basic shoulder stability work, arm circles, shoulder rolls, scapular retraction, nothing with a heavy resistance. She participated in 6 group classes over 3 weeks. She was always fine, smiling, laughing with Susan, taking selfies by the mirror after class. Selfies? Yeah, they both took a lot of photos. Said they were documenting their fitness journey for Instagram. Patricia and I exchange a look. Susan Park, Patricia says, chronic neck pain and cervical spine damage. Susan joined the same day as Jennifer. They bought the same package, 20 sessions each, always came together, always set up their reformers next to each other. I worked with her on neck tension, gentle cervical stretches, thoracic extension. She told me multiple times she was feeling better. I pull out my phone and show Patricia the reviews. 5 stars from Marcus, dated March 15th. Liza is a miracle worker. My back pain is completely gone. 5 stars from Jennifer, March 18th. Finally found a Pilates instructor who actually knows anatomy. Feels stronger and pain-free. 5 stars from Susan, March 20th. Life-changing experience. Liza's attention to detail is unmatched. They filed these lawsuits on March 28th, Patricia says quietly, 8 to 10 days after posting glowing reviews. I have security cameras, I say. Every session is recorded. Patricia's eyes light up. You have footage of all their sessions? Every single one. We spend 2 hours reviewing footage. Marcus performing perfect bridges, Jennifer doing shoulder exercises with textbook form, laughing, Susan stretching her neck, completely relaxed. Not once does anyone appear to be in pain. Not once does anyone stop mid-exercise or ask for modifications. This is good, Patricia says. But they're claiming the injuries were cumulative. We need their medical records. And Liza, I'm going to be honest, these lawsuits are sophisticated. The timing, the coordination, this feels orchestrated. You think the sweatbox is behind this? I think it's worth investigating. I'm recommending we hire a private investigator. If these people are frauds, they'll slip up. The PI she recommends costs $200 an hour. I have maybe $15,000 left in my business account. But what choice do I have? That night, I can't sleep. 3 coordinated lawsuits, glowing reviews right before filing, excessive photography, strange questions. This was planned. But why go to such lengths to destroy a small studio already struggling? Unless destroying me was the point. The next morning, my phone rings at 7 a.m. It's Christina, one of my remaining clients. Liza, have you seen the news? I turn on the TV. A perky reporter is standing outside my studio. A local Pilates studio is facing multiple lawsuits from clients who claim they suffered serious injuries during classes. They show B-roll of my storefront. They interview a fitness expert about safety protocols. They mention the sweat box as an example of a larger, more established facility with rigorous safety standards. They interview the sweat box's regional manager, Tanya Breslin. She's all fake sympathy. It's tragic when anyone gets injured during a workout. At the sweat box, we have extensive safety protocols to ensure our members' well-being. The implication is clear. Big, safe sweat box good. Small, dangerous, restore, and align bad. My phone starts ringing. Clients canceling, people demanding refunds. By noon, I've lost 7 clients. By evening, 12. My studio's dying, and someone is holding the pillow over its face. I call Patricia. We need that private investigator now today. Already on it. His name is Ray Kowalski, former Miami PD detective. Ray Kowalski looks exactly like you'd expect a former detective to look. Late 50s, gray haircut, military short, weathered face. He meets me at a coffee shop with a laptop bag and an intensity that makes me feel both hopeful and terrified. Social media is a goldmine if you know where to look, he says, opening his laptop. Let's start with Marcus Thornton. Ray clicks through Marcus's Facebook timeline. February 10th, he posts about signing up for a new gym. Want to guess which one? The Sweatbox. Bingo, he signed up with you January 28th. So he was a member at both places simultaneously, but look at this. Ray shows me a post from March 5th. Marcus at the Sweatbox taking his selfie. The caption? New opportunities coming. Sometimes you gotta play the long game. Shoulders d'être blessed. Look at who liked the post. Jennifer Wu, Susan Park, and Tanya Breslin. Tanya Breslin, the regional manager from the Sweatbox? The same one who gave that sympathetic interview. She's connected to all three plaintiffs on social media. They all started following her around the same time, mid to late January. Ray pulls up Jennifer's profile. Jennifer checked in at the Sweatbox on January 15th, 2 weeks before she joined your studio. And look at this comment from Tanya Breslin. So excited to have you on the team. You're going to be amazing. On the team? Does she work there? Not officially, but that comment suggests some kind of relationship. Ray moves to Susan Park's profile. In her work history, she lists herself as an independent contractor for Catalyst Consulting Group from 2018 to 2022. Catalyst Consulting Group is a business services company that provides mystery shoppers and brand representatives. Want to know who their biggest client is? The Sweatbox. The Sweatbox's parent company, Fitcore Holdings. Susan Park was literally hired to infiltrate businesses and report back. The room tilts. These people weren't random clients, they were plants. This is conspiracy, I say. This is fraud. This is potentially criminal. But we need more. We need proof of payments, communications. Over the next week, Ray becomes a shadow. He follows Marcus to a hardcore powerlifting gym where Marcus regularly deadlifts over 300 pounds. Impossible for someone with 3 herniated discs. He follows Jennifer to boxing, beach volleyball, where she spikes repeatedly with her supposedly torn rotator cuff. He follows Susan to a rock climbing gym, where she scales a 40-foot wall without neck problems. Meanwhile, I'm doing my own investigation. I create fake social media accounts and start digging. That's when I find it. Jennifer posted a photo on Instagram January 20th at a restaurant in Brickell. Group photo, Jennifer, Susan, Marcus, Tanya Breslin, and 2 others. The caption, Team dinner, ready to make magic happen. Team dinner, before any of them joined my studio, with the Sweatbox's regional manager. I screenshot everything. Patricia calls me within 10 minutes. Lisa, this proves they knew each other before joining your studio. This proves premeditation. We can argue conspiracy, fraud, potentially bring criminal charges. I keep digging. I find a Venmo transaction from January 25th. Marcus paid Jennifer $50 with the note, acting lessons LOL. I find Susan's LinkedIn listing performance artist as a skill. I find a review Jennifer left for the Sweatbox. Best gym ever. The management really takes care of their team members. But the smoking gun comes from Twitter. Marcus replied to someone asking about making money fast, patience, and playing the role. Big payout coming soon. The emoji is a theater mask. Ray laughs when he sees it. They always confess on social media, every single time. Patricia is more measured. It's suggestive, but not explicit. Combined with everything else, we have a pattern. Now we need depositions. We need to get these people under oath and watch them lie. The depositions are scheduled for late April. 3 weeks to prepare. 3 weeks to save my business. But my business might not last 3 weeks. I'm down to 15 clients. My 2 replacement instructors quit. I'm teaching every class myself, surviving on 4 hours of sleep. My landlord calls. I'm 2 weeks late on rent. My insurance company freezes coverage pending review. I'm in my studio at 11 p.m. scrubbing reformer machines and trying not to cry. When my phone buzzes, it's Ray. Check your email, now. I open my laptop. Ray has sent me a link to Jennifer Wu's Instagram story, posted 4 hours ago. My hands start shaking before I even click it. The video is 10 seconds long. Jennifer at what looks like a party. Loud music, dim lighting, people dancing. Jennifer is doing a handstand against a wall, her legs perfectly straight, her shoulders bearing her entire body weight. The shoulder that's supposedly torn, the shoulder she claims causes her constant debilitating pain. But that's not even the best part. I screenshot the video and zoom in on the background. There's a banner hanging on the wall, the Sweatbox Miami grand opening, staff celebration. There's a timestamp in the corner, 2 hours ago. And in the background, clearly visible, are Marcus and Susan. Marcus is doing pull ups on a doorframe bar. Susan is laughing, her neck turned at an extreme angle as she talks to someone. The people claiming to be permanently disabled are partying at the sweatbox. Together, right now. I call Patricia. It's nearly midnight, but she answers on the second ring. Tell me you're seeing this, I say. I'm seeing it. I'm recording it. I'm documenting everything. Liza, this is it. This is the evidence we needed. What do we do? First, we make sure this doesn't disappear. I'm already saving everything. Second, we file an emergency motion with the court tomorrow morning. We're going to get these depositions moved up. We're going to put these people under oath before they have time to coordinate their stories. Can we get the cases dismissed? Better. We're going to destroy them. I spend the rest of the night documenting everything. Jennifer's handstand video, the banner in the background, Marcus doing pull-ups, Susan's extreme neck mobility, the timestamp, the location tag. Ray sends me more. He was outside the sweatbox tonight, conducting surveillance on an unrelated matter, and he filmed the entire party through the windows. His footage shows all three plaintiffs, healthy and active, celebrating with sweatbox staff. It shows Tanya Breslin giving a speech, though we can't hear the audio. It shows Marcus arm wrestling someone. It shows Jennifer lifting someone in an overhead press position, using both shoulders. It's damning. It's perfect. It's everything. Patricia files an emergency motion at 9 a.m. By noon, we're in front of Judge Sandra Martinez. The plaintiff's lawyers are scrambling. They argue the social media posts are inadmissible, that they're taken out of context, that their clients were just trying to maintain normalcy despite their injuries. Judge Martinez is unimpressed. She's a no-nonsense Colombian woman in her 60s who has a reputation for hating fraud. Counselor, she says to the plaintiff's attorney, your client claims she cannot lift her arm above shoulder height due to a torn rotator cuff. Yet I'm looking at a video of her bearing her entire body weight on that shoulder while performing a handstand. How do you explain that? Your Honor, my client has good days and bad days. At a party? At the business establishment of the defendant's direct competitor? With the other two plaintiffs, who all supposedly suffered unrelated injuries at the same small studio. What an extraordinary coincidence. The judge orders immediate depositions. All three plaintiffs. Tomorrow. That night, I get a phone call from an unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Liza Mendez? A woman's voice, nervous. Yes? My name is Rebecca Torres. I think I can help you. I used to work at the Sweatbox. I quit last week because I couldn't be part of what they were doing anymore. My heart pounds. What were they doing? They have a program. They call it competitor elimination. They identify small studios in neighborhoods where they're opening new locations. They pay people to join those studios, document everything, then file fake injury lawsuits. The goal is to drive the small studios out of business so the Sweatbox can capture all the market share. How many studios? Yours is the seventh. They did it in Austin, Dallas, Phoenix, Seattle, Portland, and Denver. All successful. No one ever fought back before. Everyone just settled or went bankrupt. Why are you telling me this? Because I have documentation, emails, contracts, payment records, everything, and I'm willing to testify. The depositions take place in a conference room that feels too small for the tension it contains. Marcus Thornton sits across from Patricia, his lawyer beside him looking increasingly uncomfortable. Patricia begins gently. Mr. Thornton, you claim you suffered 3 herniated discs during classes at Restore and Align, correct? Yes. And these injuries cause you significant pain and limit your mobility? Yes, I can barely walk some days. I see. Can you tell me what you were doing on the evening of April 23rd? Marcus's eyes flicker. I don't remember specifically. Let me refresh your memory. Patricia slides a photo across the table. It's Marcus doing pull-ups at the sweatbox party. Does this help? The color drains from Marcus's face. That's not what it looks like. It looks like you're performing pull-ups, an exercise that requires significant core stability and spinal strength. Would you disagree? It was a good day. A good day at a party held at the Sweatbox, the direct competitor of the studio you're suing, along with the other 2 plaintiffs. What an amazing coincidence. Patricia pulls out more photos. Marcus deadlifting at his gym. Marcus playing basketball. Marcus carrying heavy boxes into his apartment. Mr. Thornton, when did you first meet Jennifer Wu and Susan Park? At at the studio, at Restore and Align. Really? Because we have a photograph of the three of you at dinner with Tanya Breslin on January 20th, 2 weeks before you joined Restore and Align. Would you like to revise your answer? Marcus looks at his lawyer, panicking. His lawyer whispers something to him. I want to invoke my Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. The room goes silent. You can only invoke the Fifth Amendment if answering would expose you to criminal liability. By doing so, Marcus has essentially admitted this is a criminal matter. Patricia smiles. Noted for the record. Jennifer Wu's deposition is even worse. She tries to maintain her story until Patricia shows her the handstand video. Ms. Wu, you claim you cannot lift your right arm above shoulder height without severe pain, correct? That's correct. Then can you explain how you were able to support your entire body weight on that arm 3 days ago? That video is edited. It's fake. It's from your Instagram story with metadata showing the exact time and location. Are you claiming you didn't post this? Jennifer's lawyer intervenes, but the damage is done. Patricia produces the Venmo transaction. Can you explain why Marcus Thornton paid you $50 with the note acting lessons LOL? That was a joke between friends. Friends you claimed you didn't know before joining Restore and Align? Silence. Ms. Wu, have you ever worked for or been paid by the Sweatbox or any of its subsidiaries? I invoke my Fifth Amendment rights. Susan Park breaks first. Maybe she's smarter than the other two. Maybe she realizes the walls are closing in. Or maybe she just cracks under pressure. But when Patricia shows her the evidence, the photos, the videos, the connections to Catalyst Consulting Group, Susan starts crying. I didn't want to do this, she says. They told me it was just market research. They said no one would get hurt, that small studios have insurance for this kind of thing. They paid me $15,000. I needed the money. Her lawyer tries to stop her, but Susan keeps talking. Tanya Breslin recruited all of us. She said it was a standard business practice, that everyone in the fitness industry does it. We were supposed to join the studio, take classes for a few weeks, leave good reviews so it didn't look suspicious, then file the lawsuits. The Sweatbox's lawyers would handle everything. We'd get paid when the studio settled. Did Tanya Breslin tell you this was happening to other studios? Yes. She said they'd done it successfully 6 times before. She showed us articles about studios that had closed down. She said Restore and Align would probably just settle quickly and we'd all get paid in a few months. Patricia leans forward. Susan, I need you to understand something. What you're describing isn't market research. It's fraud. It's conspiracy. These are federal crimes. Susan is sobbing now. I know, I'm so sorry. I'll testify to everything. I'll give you all the communications with Tanya. Just please, I don't want to go to jail. Patricia and I exchange glances. We have our confession. Rebecca Torres's testimony changes everything. She brings boxes of documents, emails, contracts, payment schedules. She brings the Competitor Elimination Program Manual, a literal step-by-step guide for destroying small studios. The manual is damning. It outlines the entire process. Identify target studio and neighborhood of planned Sweatbox expansion recruit. 3-4 participants through Catalyst Consulting Group. Have participants join target studio. Gather documentation. Have participants leave positive reviews to avoid suspicion. Have participants file coordinated injury lawsuits, apply pressure through media coverage and community reputation damage. Wait for target studio to settle or go bankrupt, open Sweatbox location, and capture market share. Rebecca testifies that she was the one who coordinated media coverage. She reached out to Channel 7 News, fed them the story, arranged the interview with Tanya Breslin. It was all scripted, she says. We had talking points prepared weeks in advance. The goal was to make Restore and Align look dangerous and the Sweatbox look safe by comparison. Patricia introduces bank records showing payments from Fitcore Holdings, the Sweatbox's parent company, to an LLC called Market Research Solutions, which then paid Marcus, Jennifer, and Susan $15,000 each. The judge orders a federal investigation. The FBI gets involved. This isn't just civil fraud anymore. It's wire fraud, conspiracy, racketeering. The trial itself is almost anticlimactic because the evidence is so overwhelming. The jury deliberates for 90 minutes. Verdict: The plaintiffs acted in conspiracy with the sweatbox to commit fraud and intentional interference with business relations. Damages 2.3 million in compensatory damages, 5 million in punitive damages. But that's not even the best part. The federal investigation uncovers the full scope of the sweatbox's operation. 7 studios in 6 cities, all destroyed the same way. Fake injuries, coordinated lawsuits, media manipulation. The U.S. attorney files charges against Tanya Breslin, the CEO of Fitcore Holdings, and 12 other executives. RICO charges, racketeering, the same laws used against organized crime. Marcus, Jennifer, and Susan plead guilty to conspiracy and fraud. They get probation and have to pay restitution. They cooperate fully, providing testimony against the higher ups. The Sweatbox's Miami location closes within a month. The parent company files for bankruptcy, unable to survive the legal costs and reputation damage. Tanya Breslin is facing 20 years in federal prison. 6 months later, I'm standing in my studio, my expanded studio, watching a class of 20 clients moving through a sequence I designed. The space is twice the size now, in a better location, with state-of-the-art equipment. The lawsuit settlement gave me the capital to not just survive, but thrive. I have 5 instructors now, all carefully vetted, all committed to the therapeutic approach that almost got destroyed. My waiting list has 200 people on it. The story went viral. Small studio owner fights back against corporate sabotage. I've been on podcasts and magazines, on national news. I've been invited to speak at small business conferences about protecting yourself from predatory competitors. A documentary crew is following me around. They're making a film called Sabotage, the Fitness Fraud Conspiracy. It's going to expose the entire industry's dirty secrets. But the best part? Other studio owners are coming forward. The 6 other studios that the Sweatbox destroyed are reopening lawsuits with my evidence. They're going after Fitcore Holdings for damages. Some of them lost everything and are finally getting justice. Mrs. Rodriguez still comes to class 3 times a week. She brought her daughter and 2 grandchildren as new clients. David Chen refers every person he knows. My original loyal clients never left. They stood by me through everything. I learned something through this nightmare. Documentation is everything. Evidence is everything. Truth, backed by proof, is unstoppable. If someone tries to destroy you, fight back. Document everything. Trust your integrity. Find allies. Don't give up. I almost lost everything I'd worked for because I was competing against someone willing to break every rule, every law, every ethical boundary to win. But they made one crucial mistake. They underestimated me. They thought I was just a small studio owner, easy to crush, too scared to fight back. They were wrong. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe and hit that like button. Share it with any small business owners you know. Drop a comment telling me about your own experiences with unfair competition. We're stronger together, and your story matters. Thank you for being part of this journey.